All right, welcome back to the show, man. A lot to unpack this week with the AFC. The playoff picture starting to take shape. Few teams really starting to separate themselves, man. We got a couple squads at the top sitting at 8-2. Patriots, Colts, Broncos. Question's going to be who's the team to beat. But first, I got a message from our man Joe, man. What's going on?
Hey man, what's going on? Welcome in everybody. Before we get started, I just wanted to send out condolences, man, to some folks that passed away. Across the community over the last week or so. Uh, Coach Lenny Wilkin passed away this weekend. If you've been watching ball for as long as I've had, we're all familiar with Lenny Wilkins and the job he did, not only as a coach but also as a player in the league. Um, Condolences to Paul Tashley and Bill's family, who also passed away on Sunday morning. Um, Commissioner Tagley, who did a lot in his time as commissioner, expanding the game, adding teams to the league. Um, so those to him and his family. Michael Ray Richardson, all-star in the NBA, passed away also. I believe that was this morning, this morning, uh, from a short battle with prostate cancer. Our condolences to his family. And of course, um, condolences to Marshawn Nealon's family from the Cowboys, who tragically completed his life last week. Uh, Good player, man. You know what I mean? Just celebrated his first touchdown score, so it was sad to hear about his passing. Um, but you just never know, man. You know, November is Men's Mental Health Month. Just keeping in mind, you know, need to talk, man. We're here. You know, family, friends. You know, if you want to go talk to a professional, whatever it is, man. But it's plenty of resources here for men and women alike. So please tap in if you feel it.
Yeah, no, appreciate that, man. Um, yeah, I echo everything that you said. And yeah, it's that time of the year, and it's crazy how it go. November, December. I feel like in the months we lose a lot of our loved ones this time of the year as we head into the holidays. So yeah, no, 100%, man. Um, and really just transition into a softer topic. It sucks going from talking about something like that. Started off with something like that, but I know we was talking about the Patriots, Colts, Broncos, and the question obviously now is going to be who's the team to beat. Um, and at 8-2, those three teams are one of those teams the teams to beat right now in the NFL.
Um, I think the AFC, I think the most complete team out of the three of those, I feel like it's the Patriots, man. I mean, offense, defense, special teams. That team, man, they look good. Um, Impressive win versus Tampa this past weekend. Uh, not easy to beat uh, that team, especially with Baker at quarterback. I think that was an impressive win. Um, Colts, of course, got the win in, I think, what was it, Berlin or Expo or Berlin, I believe it was. But
Mm-hmm.
um, Jonathan Taylor is an MVP candidate for sure. Uh, Daniel Jones was worried to me about them and Daniel Jones and his turnovers so bad. Like he has to get that under control for them to truly be a competitor. And the Broncos get these slow starts. They start the game slow and that worry because as we get to November, as we get to December, as we get to January, those slow starts are going to kill them. You know, you can't keep starting slow and expect it to come back at the end of the day. So I would say out of those top three teams for me in the AFC, I'm definitely leaning more toward the Patriots than the Broncos, Colts.
Yeah. Um, the Patriots for me, I'm with you. All around complete team. Patriots 100%. They have the number one rush defense right now in the NFL. So I, I get it. And another thing is they're in a. I think they're in a position right now where they don't have to lean on one particular player offensively, right? So they have a lot of flexibility offensively in their scheme, right? I know with the Colts, just watching the Colts over the weekend, one thing became very apparent. That offense runs as Jonathan Taylor goes, right? And that's a good thing or bad thing. But, you know, you get into a playoff game, your quarterback is going to have to make plays. And we saw it with Sam Darnold last year, and we've seen it with Daniel Jones. We may see it with Daniel Jones this year. Last year, Sam Darnold had that unbelievable regular season, and everybody questioned, hey, when it get down to it at the end of the season, is he going to be able to make the plays and come through for that Vikings team? And he wasn't able to do it. And those are the same questions we're going to have about the Colts with Daniel Jones, right? When it comes down to it at the end of this season, if you take Jonathan Taylor out the game, is Daniel Jones going to be able to beat you? Because right now, you basically know if they're throwing the ball, it's most likely going to Tyler Warren um, or Alec Pierce. Those are the two weapons, the two guys right now that he's using the most, and that he feels the most comfortable with. Josh Downs and mine, Pittman have kind of taken a back seat. Um, but if you asking me realistically, who's the team to beat? Like I said, I mean that's kind of the question in the AFC. Not even just limited to those 8-2 teams. I'm gonna say the Ravens, and that's the reason I'm saying the Ravens. And I've been saying this the last 3 weeks. We've been doing this, and we've been talking about our power rankings, right? To me, the Ravens have had the most difficult road starting the season with the Lions, the Chiefs, the Bills. Like playing those three teams out the gate is a very difficult thing to do. Dealing with the injury from Lamar Jackson. And I'm not going to sit here and not put respect on Zach Orr's name because I was the very first person that was ready to fire this man, throw him under the bus a month ago. I'm going to give him his props because he turned the defense around. Granted, we played the Bears, we played the Vikings, we played some teams who do not have all pro quarterbacks. But I saw us look like trash against teams that didn't have all pro quarterbacks. So I got to give this man his props for what he's been able to do with that defense, whether it's generating pressure, whether it's mixing up the zone, mixing man. They're playing much harder than they played earlier in the season. And they're really starting to, that thing that say play like a Raven, they're playing like Ravens defensively now. A lot of it has to do with Zach Orr and his schemes, but you know me, I'm a big players guy. Roquan Smith, that's the Roquan Smith I'm used to seeing. That's the Roquan Smith we traded for. That's not the Roquan Smith we got the first 3 weeks of the season. The last couple weeks, that's the guy that we traded for. Roquan been balling. Kyle Hamilton, he gonna do Kyle Hamilton things. He plug and play. He ain't gonna say much. He just gonna be an all pro. It just don't matter. But Roquan, that's what I love to see, man. That's what I love to see. What's your thoughts? Because I think I pinned you in a corner when I said the 8-2 Patriots, Colts, Broncos. Who's the team to beat? Who would be your team to beat in the AFC if you could just pick any team?
If I'm picking a team right now in the AFC, the, the, the scariest team right now to me, man, is the Chargers. Um, and I say that because they are going to get healthy at the right time. They got the young boy Vidal at the running back spot now. Hampton should be back in 3 to 4 weeks, so he'll be there during the dog days of December and January. And they're sitting at 7-3 right now, so they're right there on possibly having road to the playoffs come through LA, which with the way Harbaugh likes to play football in that time management system, that could eat up 8, 9 minute drives without a problem.
Mhm.
You got Herbert doing what he's doing, not really making too many mistakes. When the lane is down, he's running more than we've ever seen him. To once again keep that clock turning. Uh, that defense is linebacker spot, you know, the guy's just a tackle for a loss monster, man. Constantly beating the running back in the hole. Um, I like the Chargers, man. I like them a lot. I think they're a well balanced team. I think they're well coached. My man Jesse Minter over there, the D coordinator. I honestly would not be surprised to see them to be one of those top two seeds coming out of the AFC. I can definitely see that. I think they have the ability to beat just about anybody over there, honestly.
Got you. So, do you feel like that pick is hinging upon them getting home field advantage, essentially?
Um, I don't think it hinges on there, but I think it has. Because we've seen them have to go places like Jacksonville and play in the rain and,
Hmm.
kind of be out there in the muck. Um, so I think it helps, especially for the first round of the playoffs, because, you know, that first round always has seemed to be a kind of a bugaboo for them. But, Harbaugh's won on every level, man. He knows what's needed this time of year. I feel like he has a more complete team than he's had those couple years so far in San Diego, or that year and a half, whatever it's been. Um, so I think they'll be right there in the mix. I really down the stretch. Of course, they'll have to beat Denver. They'll have to beat KC. I think their biggest competition is their own division as far as the AFC is concerned.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. In the Broncos, so they got a big game coming up this week against the Chiefs, and that's going to play a huge role in out west, in the AFC.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like you're dismissing the Broncos, or are we basically counting this Sunday's game as a loss for the Broncos to the Chiefs?
Um, no, because I mean, with the Chiefs' with the Broncos' defense, you can't just rule them out. I mean, their defense, um, but their offense worries.
Okay.
Once again, those slow starts of, we might have 3-7 points at halftime, and we've been three and out for the most part. You can't do that versus Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes is on the field the majority of the first half, you're probably down double digits going into the half, and that's not the type of quarterback, the type of offense that's gonna let you off the mat. If Pat gets up, he's up. Like he's gonna put his foot on your neck.
Yep.
So Bo Nix ain't gonna be able to will them back, late in the fourth quarter and all that. I just don't believe that. Once again, they can change that. This could be the first weekend where they really get going good in the first half and look like a solid offense. But that all comes down to what Bo Nix is gonna show up. So I mean, we'll see. But like I said, if it's more of the same with the Broncos and that offense remains stagnant in the first half of the game, it's not going to get it done versus KC. It's not
Yeah.
going to get it done, versus a lot of the big boys in the AFC series.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Um, I yeah, this gonna sound crazy to say. I don't view Denver as a contender. I don't view the Chargers as a contender. The reason I don't view the Chargers as a contender, though, is really just their offensive line. I think their offensive line is just too suspect to protect Justin Herbert consistently. When they protect, they're great. But that Pittsburgh game, if it wasn't for that, I mean that one play to McConkey really just changed that game, right? And I kind of want to talk about Pittsburgh here in a second, because I mean, as a Steeler, if there's Steelers fans out there, I would love to know their thoughts on what happened at the trade deadline. Because we kind of got into this last week, right, about Pittsburgh. So, like, what's the ceiling for the Steelers? Because, like I just said, my pick to win the AFC has been the Ravens the entire year.
Right.
I feel like the Ravens are the best team in the AFC. I never cared about the loss to Buffalo. It was at Buffalo. Everybody lose at Buffalo, but I feel like we're more talented than Buffalo. Miami just beat Buffalo by multiple scores, right? The Buffalo game, I throw that out the window. There's only one team really in the NFL that truly, like, as a Ravens fan, I fear, and that's the Lions. That's it. So, but what's the ceiling you believe for Pittsburgh? What's the best possible scenario this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
First round of the playoff. I think that's as far as they go. Um, Aaron Rodgers was bad this weekend, man. I mean, Pittsburgh fans might not want to hear it, they might not want to admit it, but he looked bad this weekend. He looked old. You know, he looked like he was, 40 years old and struggling every time he tried to like move in the pocket. It just looked bad.
Yeah,
So I can't see them get past the first round of playoffs, but also and that's to me that's a favorable ceiling because I think the Ravens come back and win the North, but I think the AFC North only gets one team in the playoffs this year because of the AFC West and even the AFC South. Because you look at you got the Texans and the Jaguars, the Colts in the South. You got of course the West with KC, the Broncos, the Chargers, and of course you got the East will probably just the Patriots. But when you look at the North record, I can't pencil Pittsburgh in there. And they're talking about your boy Joey B about to be back. They from my understanding he's supposed to be a limited participant practice. So he a couple weeks away.
yeah,
So that also throws the ring into play. So I think them getting to the playoffs is the highest they can see, and like I said, that doesn't look good.
yeah. So I feel like what you're saying makes 100% sense. That they failed them at the trade deadline because it's one of those. I feel like the way the Ravens started the year, the Steelers took a step back and they said, you know what, we good. We don't need to make no moves. We don't need to spend no money. But the ceiling for the Steelers is to miss the playoffs,
Yeah,
and I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs.
yeah,
They had a chance to, but Aaron Rodgers looked old, but he looked old because he has no weapons. You can't give him DK Metcalf and three tight ends.
right.
It basically, I mean, all the Chargers did is they said, "Hey, we're not going to give you DK,"
Yeah,
and that's what every team is going to do the rest of the season. Um, Apparently your mic is low.
Mike. Yeah.
See if we can fix your mic for you. But yeah, that's been one of the biggest things, biggest issues all year with them is they have to have multiple weapons offensively.
Yeah, and Rodgers looks uh, kind of timid to even throw to those other guys, man. To throw to Wilson or throw to Austin. He doesn't even look interested in really throwing outside the numbers to those guys. And maybe that's just a comfortability thing. I understand he hasn't. Obviously this is his first year there, so he's still probably developing chemistry with a lot of those guys. And Austin and Wilson are both younger players, and they don't have that familiarity necessarily with some of these great vet quarterbacks might like to do or like to see for their receivers. But I mean that's something that I'm hoping, or I would think, is getting worked on. A little bit before practice, a little bit after practice. Things like that. Um, but that's something to Aaron Rodgers to be a leader, and kind of pull those guys along and say, "Hey, I need you guys. This is what I need." So
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, man. We're gonna run to a quick intermission. Try to fix the audio real quick for my man Joe. We'll be right back. Yo, yo,
Yo,
you good?
good? I'm hoping so.
Let me see.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Just told Corey to check, give us a heads up, let us know.
Hopefully that's how.
Yeah, but yeah, no, the stay on topic while we waiting to get that audio piece figured out. Um, no, I just think Pittsburgh failed Rodgers, man, because you bring him in. It's essentially it's a 1 year experiment with Aaron Rodgers, right? So once you gave up Pickens, you knew DK was the only viable wide receiver option, right? Of course, you got talented tight ends, but if you look at Aaron Rodgers over the course of his career, he's typically had 2 to 3 guys: Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, right?
Yeah.
He's normally had multiple guys. Lazard, he's normally had multiple guys at that receiver position. They ain't even have to be great, but you have to give him something. The
Right.
Steelers aren't equipping him with what he needs to win, right? And I listened to the interviews with Mike Tomlin. Bro, I said it last year. I'll say it again this year. Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers need to break up. They need to break up. That relationship is over. It's stale. It's done. Because what he wants to do does not seem to be what they want to do. He
Right.
seemed to want to keep Justin Fields. And I'm not going to judge him based off what Fields looked like with the Jets because I saw what Sam Darnold looked like with the Jets. I'm not going to do that. I saw what Fields looked like with Pittsburgh last year. He looked solid. They wanted to go the old route. The Steelers have been old at the quarterback position for basically the entire length of Lamar Jackson's career. We got off of Joe Flacco. They just continued to stay old. They tried to get Kenny Pickett a chance, but after that, they old. Like they just continue to stay with the damn veterans.
Right.
You gotta move on. You gotta rebuild. Nobody give a damn about them winning seasons. You can have 15 consecutive winning seasons. If you don't win the Super Bowl, we don't care. Pittsburgh fans don't care, and he said the standard is the standard. Well, what's the standard? Is the standard just to make the playoffs and go home?
Seem like it. At this point, I feel like that's what's keeping his job.
Yeah, but he wouldn't lose his job. Mike T could get a job anywhere he want in the league.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely. He would be hired that same coaching cycle.
Yeah,
But, I think after some time, like you said, if they're having different ideas of which way the franchise should be moving, then he's clearly not the guy for what you're trying to do.
yeah. Nah, it's one of the frustrating things. So, all right, got the mic issue cleared up. That seemed to be good. Um, Nico Harrison was fired, man. Your boy Nico, they finally got him out of there. So the question is this: what took them 7 months to fire Nico Harrison? I mean, that's your squad. So I'm gonna let you answer this first. And then I'll piggyback off you. Yes, your team. My team got number 77. They got Luka Doncic, 26-year-old phenom. That's my squad. That's my team right there. Purple and gold.
They let Nico make his bed and they made him. This should have never happened. The trade should have never happened. He shouldn't have been given the ability to make the call. They say he talked to folks underneath him, Michael Finley, some of the other guys in the front office.
Uh,
But Nico's their boss. They gonna tell him no.
hey, don't you got a little gunshot joint on your board?
Yeah, I got one on there, man. I got one.
Oh, that's exactly what happened to y'all in the Luca trade.
Make no sense, bro. It makes no sense. And I said that when the trade happened, and everybody was like, "Oh, Joe, you just being a fan. You got to give it time. This, that, and the third." No, I didn't need to give the time then, and I damn sure don't need to give the time now. The trade was absolutely horrendous. You don't trade a 26-year-old phenom, all NBA first timer. I don't care if he was overweight. The boy was on all NBA first team every season, carrying your franchise to the playoffs every season. And your complaint was, oh, he drinks beer, he smokes hookah. Well, damn, if drinking beer and smoking hookah gets me to the NBA Finals, keep drinking and smoking, my guy. Because Luka wasn't the problem in the finals. Nobody else can hit a damn shot. Because that's insane to me that you say, oh, well, we are upset about his conditioning. Damn that. Oh, he doesn't play defense. Damn that. I've been a Mavs fan for 30 years. We sat there and watched Dirk not play defense for 21 seasons. Dirk was never on a damn trading block, though. So all that's BS, man. It's all BS. The real enemy of this is Mark Cuban. Because, like I said to my man Corey earlier, how much money is enough money? You are already a billionaire, my guy, and you own supposedly your favorite team. Yet, this ownership group comes in and offers you more money for you to be a minority stakeholder instead of the majority like you've been. So as soon as you take that money and you step down off that platform and become a minority holder that they no longer have to run things through, guess what
Mm-hmm.
happened? Dumb shit happened. You trade your franchise player, you
Look
get
at
back Mr. Glass.
I ain't got no Lakers stuff. Ah, okay.
Right now, the best part of that trade is Max Christie. Yeah, Flag doing what he doing, but Flag ain't Luka. Maybe he will be one day. But Luka was Luka when he stepped foot on the floor. Period. Now I'm saying Flag can't be a great player. Flag's not gonna be Luka. Period.
You done?
Yeah, man. It's over with, man. This me off.
Hey, look, it's room over here in LA. Look, if one thing about LA, man, one, it's a beautiful city. Number two, there is more than enough space for you to get on the bandwagon. And guess what? You a Ravens fan. You already wear purple. You fit right in, bro. You fit right in. Come on, right? Come on over here. Yeah. We gonna get Joseph. You know what, Corey? We gonna go ahead. We gonna get that man some Laker gear for Christmas. We gonna get him a little Luka jersey.
Let's
Send
go,
it to
man.
his crib for Christmas. They're gonna put it right on the wall behind you.
I wish my man Luka well, and every time he plays the man, I'm thinking Luka for 40 on every parlay.
Hey, so all right. So it took him 7 months, man. On a serious note, after the trade happened, he should have been fired then. How many times? I mean, it's rare that you see this type of stuff. This is really one of the dumbest things I ever saw. You traded a 20, at the time, 25, right? 25, 26 year old superstar in his prime, fresh out off making the NBA finals for a 32-year-old that's always hurt.
And a first round pick that doesn't have to go until 2029.
Oh man. Hey, look. So I got man, I hate to keep driving this knife. I got a question. You bring in Kyrie Irving, right?
Right?
All right. What is Kyrie Irving known for?
I mean, Kyrie's a great point guard.
Great
Now
point
let's
guard.
get another guy
Mm-hmm.
that's off the end.
Often injured, right?
Yep.
So we got Kyrie is often injured. So let's go trade our youngest superstar, one of the top 3 players in the league, and go get a player that's what? 32. And what's the deal with Anthony Davis? Tell us about Anthony Davis. What is he?
Mr. Glass, aka Street Clothes.
Often injured, right?
Off the dead.
Often injured. So, if there was reports when this whole thing first went down, and I swear, I don't know. I have zero inside information. I'm nobody. They said LeBron James did not know that this trade was going down. I'm going to role play this. I'm going to role play this for you right now.
Mhm.
Hey, LeBron, come in my office. We thinking about trading AD. Nah, man, we won a championship together, man. I don't even want to trade him. Ain't no way. Bron, we can get Luka. Look, do whatever y'all. I don't even know what's going on. Just keep me out of it. Hey, whatever happened. You know how that go. You, right?
And AD didn't help his case when he came out to the trade before that. AD came out and said, "Oh, I just feel like we'd be in a better position if I played more at the 4
Mhm.
and we had a legitimate 5."
Oh yeah, he played the 4, seat 4A on his flight to Dallas. That's the 4 he fucking played. They got him right up out of there. Bron knew. Bron knew. Bron knew. I don't. Bron didn't want to trade AD, but when they say we can get Luka for him, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. That.
He's a dude that Braun respects, that Braun knows ball. You know what I mean? It's not like one of those, Braun been known for shipping young guys off. But Braun also recognizes and acknowledges talent. So when you said you can get Luka, Braun was all on board. He might not have said that to them, but when they said Luka, he said, "Bet."
Yeah. Next destination for Anthony Davis, because if you fired Nico, Kyrie's hurt. What are Mavs 3-8?
Yeah.
Okay, 3-8 in the Western Conference. You probably not making the playoffs
No.
at this point. So what's the next destination? Anthony Davis. Where can you see him ending up?
Who wants Anthony Davis? But let's be honest. Let's be honest because Anthony Davis has now been with the Mavs for
Mm-hmm.
probably a total of, I'm going to say, including last year, this year, maybe 60 games.
Yeah.
He played
Back in
25.
LA.
He played 25 of them.
Yeah.
So who wants that with the contract he has on top of that? Because it's not like he's just, injury prone. You're also thinking that,
Mm-hmm.
what, $40 million a year contract he had?
Yeah.
I've seen scenarios for him, one of which was going to Houston. One was going to, I believe it was like OKC. But I can't see any of those teams willing to make that deal for him.
Yeah.
Because they're young talent.
No.
They're young, durable talent for a 32-year-old that you know. At this point, we know Anthony Davis is not playing more than 40, 50 games a year. We know
Mm-hmm.
that now. So why I'm trading for half a player? I would.
Yeah.
I would make Dallas sit that mistake.
Well, you're a fan and you're emotional right now. You're emotionally scarred, and we get it. But some teams do want to win.
I mean, some teams are not, but no, and look, this is what I'm saying. I'm not even coming from an emotionally scarred place. This is what I'm saying. As a GM, I want to make my team better. How can I make my team better by trade for a guy that doesn't play?
Okay.
That's what I
So,
think. Like, forget Mavs fan and all that. We're talking about a guy that, when healthy,
mm-hmm.
is a great talent.
Yep.
But he's healthy a third of the season. So, if I'm on the Mavericks, if I'm the GM or whoever for the Mavericks, I'm like, okay, I'm trading AD. I want to get some young talent. I want to get some picks. You know what I mean?
So I got a couple of names I'm gonna throw at you. You let me know if you can. He emotionally scarred, Corey. Hey, couple names I'm gonna throw at you, and you tell me: would you consider doing this trade if you was this team? Evan Mobley.
No.
You would keep Evan Mobley over AD.
Yeah.
Okay. Vucevic in Chicago.
I mean, I would do that trade. Yeah, I would do that. Is that enough?
No, I would think you would have to add more to the deal.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of team potential destinations.
But also, you gotta look at guys that are fourth, like Mobley, not five, because
Yeah,
Bob Gafford still.
yeah. How about Scotty Barnes?
If you can get that, I'll take Scotty Barnes.
Okay. Wendell Carter in a package, not straight up. Wendell Carter in a package deal potentially with Jalen Suggs and some picks. But why would you not take it? Are you saying you wouldn't take it or Orlando wouldn't take it?
I don't think that would be enough for the Mavs because what need does it meet? Suggs, you already have your point guards on the Mavs.
Who?
I mean, they're invested in D'Lo. They're playing a young boy Brandon Williams. They want to have Flag on the ball. You got Max Christie there. So I don't know if the fit is there to add Jalen Suggs to that, unless they're going to add one of those guys to it. And then Wendell Carter, you have to then move Gafford or Lobley in a separate, which they might move Gafford because I've heard rumors of them considering Gafford. So if they're going to move Gafford, then yeah, I can see that being a possibility. But I'm just going off of just talking about moving AD, because that I'm not sure that would be.
Well,
I can see how that'd be attractive to Orlando for sure.
well, see, I think that's the part. That's the part. See, it's twofold because on one hand, AD doesn't have value, and on the other hand, when it comes time to trade him, as a Babs fan, you like, nah, I want more.
I mean,
so I'm like,
but I'm not even saying it's a Mavs.
you like, I'm just not gonna give him away for nothing.
I mean, the Mavs can't think about it. They're now trying to save face. So you're gonna tell me, or you're gonna tell your organization, the people that support the team, the fans, all those folks,
Mm-hmm.
the basketball community in general, that AD was enough for me to give away Luka Doncic. But
Yeah,
AD is only worth Jalen Suggs and Wendell Carter.
and some picks.
And some picks, possibly. So, I mean, well, we know the Magic ain't got no picks because they gave them all for Desmond Bain. All their first rounds went sitting in Memphis.
Look, I like Toronto. I like Toronto. I like a way to for if he can find a way to Boston.
Yeah.
If he can find a way to Cleveland, I would like that deal.
And we're talking about teams, and those three teams, we're talking about teams with young pieces that also fit what the Mavericks have and what they like to do.
Right, but I think for the Mavericks, what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to say to hell with us trying to contend. We're gonna have to blow this whole thing over and start from scratch. Because if they try to hold on to these pieces like PJ Washington, for example, there's no point of holding on to PJ Washington. He's a 3-and-D guy, but he's a 3-and-D guy on a team that's potentially going to contend. The team's not going to contend, right? So you going young. You going Brandon Williams. You going Cooper Flag. Like you going with a lineup that may win 35 games at the most at this point. So you basically looking to get a hoist of draft picks, right? Josh Stan. Yeah, Memphis. Memphis be another spot that I could see Anthony Davis potentially going to, right? But you're not going to get back Ja or Triple J in that deal. So it's one of them things where Dallas has already screwed themselves. They guess, like you said, they made their bed. They got to sleep in it.
Yep.
This is a 7 to 10 year rebuild. This is not like we going to strike a deal and get someone that's going to help us win in the immediate. It's going to take a while. And that's out the East. Like if I look at the West, Memphis, Corey is a great example. Memphis, I love the Memphis deal. I honestly, Ja want to get out of Memphis so bad. I would love to see Dallas be able to make a deal to bring Ja in. Realistically, I would love to see that. But again, if I'm a Mavericks fan, I don't want AD on my team.
I never
Right. You didn't.
Let's be clear about that. Even we, you, me, and Corey talked about AD deal even prior to the trade.
Mm-hmm.
When we talked about it then, I said I wouldn't want AD on my team,
Yeah.
even if he was on the side with me. I
Yeah.
didn't want him on my team.
Yeah. I mean, AJ, what's up, AJ?
You can't have a guy that with that kind of talent, because when you have a guy with that kind of talent, to get that guy, you have to give up a bunch of assets.
Yeah.
But if the talent I'm getting never plays, then I gave up assets for nothing. I'm not giving them assets for AD to hype Cooper Flag in the huddle. I
Yeah.
need you out there playing with him.
Yeah.
So if they, I mean, I agree, they're not going to be in the same fate,
No.
but they're going to have to do something and get some legit pieces back
Mm-hmm.
that make the people that support that team say, okay, I see the vision, I get it. Because one of the biggest things as a fan for the AD Faluka trade, people didn't understand the vision. Because in everybody's head, we're like, we just went to the final.
Yeah.
You just took years to build this team around Luka and Kyrie. You got to the precipice and we lost. Okay, so retool a little bit and let's go back. Instead, you blew it up.
Yeah.
Why?
So
Oh, well, we felt like we got better defensively.
my
That
man,
didn't
he
happen.
drank beer and smoked hookah, bro.
They thought they got better defensively. The Mavs are still last in the league in points scored.
Yeah, that's because the guy you got for defense don't play.
Exactly.
So, all right, I got a couple more, and then we're gonna move on. Couple more in this trade right here. Oh, damn, your audio went out again.
I didn't do that.
Your audio went out again.
I'm not sure what happened.
Hold up. Pause. We'll be back in a second, man. What the fuck? Yep. That's all that talking about the Mavs got you emotional.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I've always been able to hear you. That's what I don't understand.
I don't understand it for the life of me.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Like
But
my really damn near maxed out.
yeah, I'm not sure. I should have did a joint like last time with the test, but we'll figure it out on the next
Um,
joint.
I think I might have fixed that time for some reason. My mic kept changing. Looked like between this mic and my iPad. It's like, why I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why that was a thing though. I'm trying to see if you can get feedback off these headphones. That's the only way I can hear you is through the headphones.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So the teams that I was talking about in the West, these two teams, Golden State. I feel like Golden State would be an absolute smash if healthy for Anthony Davis, or if not healthy. Because the thing about Golden State, they have a system where they can win even with him hurt. And in that trade, they can move off of Moody, a Kaminga. Um, I forget the power forward. Can shoot.
Oh,
Ah, post. Yep. And Golden State got the picks. They got the capital. Even at the Jimmy Butler deal, they got the draft picks to be able to make that happen. I feel like that would be a great place as far as Anthony Davis is concerned. And Phoenix.
mm,
Phoenix would be tough with Anthony Davis inside as well. Those to me are the two teams out west that he could really make a difference for, have an immediate impact. It would be Golden State and Phoenix. I would be very fearful if he went to Golden State. I'd much rather see him in Phoenix. I would be terrified if he got to Golden State. But one thing, and then we can kind of get to where we sit as far as our NFL power rankings after everything that we seen this past week, and also a little bit MVP talk, right? A little bit of MVP talk because that's much needed. Um, where do you feel like with the start of the NBA season right now? Because I'm looking at the standings. The Clippers are 3-7. They dead last. Um, one game out of dead last in the Western Conference. What should they do with Kawhi Leonard?
um, that's another older team that I feel like has run their course. It's about that time. It's about that time to part ways with Kawhi. Kawhi's another interesting piece where you know when is he going to play that type of deal. But Kawhi in a winning organization, I think would be great. I think that would be a hell of a piece for somebody to grab at at the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Who? I'm not sure.
I give you the team right now. And they got the assets to go and get him.
Who's that?
Kawhi Leonard should be a Detroit Piston. Period. End the discussion. Because on the perimeter with Cade right now as a point guard, he can't average 30 and 11 assists for an entire playoff run. Cade should be around 24 points and 10 assists, 23, 10 assists, and then he can close games out. But if you bring in a Kawhi Leonard, that takes that off of him because Kawhi should be able to go get 20, 25 in a playoff game. And you don't even have to rush to play Kawhi. He can sit on the bench with his outfit on, his Uncle Dennis hoodies, and all that other stuff because they 9-2 without him. They're 9-2 right now. The problem with the Clippers, see, the problem with the Clippers is they very much are like the Steelers. They don't want to become irrelevant and they don't want to rebuild. So what they do is they continue to just bring these old ass players onto their roster just to make sure they make the playoffs and they contend every year so they fans can act like they got something to talk about. When in reality, they're not contenders. The Steelers ain't contenders. The Clippers ain't contenders. But they do just enough to get into the playoffs. And they have no fear factor. Nobody give a damn about the Steelers, about winning nothing. Nobody give a damn about the Clippers.
Paper champions.
Paper champions. But the Detroit Pistons should go get Kawhi Leonard right now.
That would give them that better presence, that they're missing. He'd be a great fit, man. He would be, with Duran and Cunningham and Duncan Robinson up there, man. Be a real good fit.
Real good fit. All right, man. We're gonna pivot back to the NFL before we get out of here. MVP. It's been a hot topic. Odds on favorite right now, obviously, is Drizzy Drake May, other New England Patriots. If you had one vote, who's your MVP?
MVP right now. Um, I like Matthew Stafford. Nobody's really talking about the Rams, man. Quietly 7-2 over there. That defensive line, that defensive front seven.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Aaron Donald's out there the way the boys are playing. I think Stafford has 25 TDs right now.
Who's that?
Matt Stafford, I believe he has 25 TDs right now.
Yeah.
I like Matt Stafford a lot, man. And Puka and Devontae, and when they want to use Tutu, yeah, I know he's an older guy, and that might not be fan or league friendly, but to have that Rams team at 7-2 and playing for the division and playing for the best record in the NFC, I personally like Matt Stafford. I understand the Drake May for sure. Drake May is probably right there with him.
Yeah.
But if I had a vote, I'd vote for Matt Stafford.
Yeah. I was just taking a peek at the odds. So Drake May right now. So Drake May current odds to win MVP. It obviously depended on the book.
Right.
He's favorite at a plus 275. Stafford plus 300. A lot of books got Taylor and Mahomes essentially even. And Sam Darnold right here, not too far behind. Did you know Matt Stafford's never been an All Pro?
I did know that. Yeah. He's never gotten and a lot of that was all those years in Detroit. His prime years were in Detroit, where
Yeah.
bad teams. He was throwing up great numbers, but the team around him outside of Calvin Johnson was,
Yeah.
you know,
Never been an All Pro.
he's never got the recognition. I think partly because of the team accomplishment, but Matt Stafford has had one of the best arms in the league since he stepped in.
Yeah.
He just got better as he's gotten older. Honestly, I mean, winning the bowl out to LA, McVay has kind of rejuvenized him, and they've given him the weapons. I like Matt shoulder because they know, we know, they gave the Eagles, they gave that game away versus the Eagles. That was their game to win. They gave that game away. But
So no, I'm with you. Yeah, that drop on the sideline from Puka, that was crazy. MVP right now for me, I'm gonna go Jonathan Taylor. Reason I would go it sucked, man, because I love Matt Stafford because and it's not it's almost like it's like Josh Allen winning it last year, right? I feel like they gave it to Josh Allen last year because they was tired of giving it to Lamar, and they was like, you know what, Josh Allen, you can just have one. Like you've been close enough, long enough. Like here you go, take the trophy.
yeah,
And it sucked because I don't want to take it from Matt Stafford, but I feel like the best player in the league right now is Jonathan Taylor, and the most valuable in the league is Jonathan Taylor. Not to say that the Rams could win if Matt Stafford got hurt. I just know what the Colts would look like without Jonathan Taylor. So the last non-quarterback to win NFL MVP, 2012, Adrian Peterson, right? Jonathan Taylor already has 10 more touchdowns than Adrian Peterson had at this point of the season.
how many yards the AP had that season? You know?
Not sure on the total, can look it up, but through the first 10 games, he had 1,283 scrimmage yards. Jonathan Taylor has 1,399 yards from scrimmage through the first 10. AP has 7 touchdowns. Taylor got 17. Vikings was 6-4. Colts 8-2.
You gotta put them right there. Got to.
And my man gets swaggy when he get in the end zone. He gets swaggy when he get in the end zone. So I think it's a two. I think you're right. The Drake May thing to me, I understand why he's the leading candidate for MVP, but MVP normally like got a little flair. Like Drake May is a little like boring to me. Like he's a cool. He's a good. He's a really talented quarterback. Obviously, can make all the throws. When you look at their receiving core, realistically, Matt Collins, Stephon Diggs, um, they don't have a name that's like, okay, that guy's gonna be first team All Pro.
Yeah.
Like Stephon Diggs maybe 5 years ago, but like now they don't. So I definitely appreciate what Drake May's been able to do, and I give him a lot of credit for that. With Matt Stafford, not to take away from him, he playing with 2 Hall of Fame wide receivers. He got one of the best offensive geniuses in the league calling plays. And he got a Pro Bowl running back behind him, not to mention. Then on the other side of the football, he also got a hell of a damn defense also. So when I look at the Colts, Daniel Jones, enough said right there. It's enough said. Jonathan Taylor, my God, man. Like, you know he getting the rock, bro. You know he getting the rock. I'm watching the game Sunday, and they had one possession on Sunday morning against the Falcons, and they just throw, punt. Why would you not turn around and hand the ball off number 28? Next possession, they ran Jonathan Taylor 8 times. Touchdown.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Danny Downs fan, but he was trash at the time. Now, I also partly think that was Brian Daboll's fault, who recently just got fired.
Hmm.
I think Danny Dan Jones, he's doing enough to open up that run game for Taylor
Yeah.
because he's a threat with his legs as well. So they're running a little read option in there now. But he's made some throws. This last week wasn't a good example. I agree. He's made some throws this season and had a game or two here and there where it says I gotta at least respect it.
Yeah.
Which is holding those linebackers a little more
Yeah.
and he's taking full advantage of it because the years prior to this, when it was Anthony Richardson and I think Gardner Minshew and Flacco was there for a little bit, them boxes was loaded up against Taylor, which was kind of like, that was killing my man's yards. But now, Danny Jones is just enough of a threat for defense to say, okay, we can't have his safety in the box.
Yep.
He made enough of those play action throws up here to Josh Downs to Warren, like you said. So, yeah, man, I love the Jonathan Taylor pick, though, man. I've been a fan of Jonathan Taylor for a long time. I'm glad to see him get his due. Glad to see he's having a season. I mean, we've known the guy was talented since he was at Wisconsin. So,
Yeah.
I feel like they're 1-2 in my head, but we'll see what the pundits pick. If they beat that Drake May drum enough, Drake May will win it, just like they did with Josh Allen. They beat that Josh Allen drum enough last year that Josh Allen won it, even though he had half the season that Lamar had.
Yeah. The MVP votes since 2015 by position for the NFL. I think I ended up seeing this, and it was crazy. So out of 250 first place votes since 2015 for the NFL, you want to know how many votes running backs got? Zero.
Yeah,
You want to know who was the only player to get a vote? You couldn't guess. If I gave you 20 guesses, you couldn't guess.
that was a non-quarterback,
Non-quarterback within the last 5 years.
and it wasn't a running back.
And it wasn't a running back. But they did play offense.
Yeah. I was a wide receiver there. Was it Puka?
Who'd you say?
Puka?
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper, I was close. Okay.
You was. I was like, he about to get this shit. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, the only non-quarterback out of 250 first place votes to get a vote.
That's a year Cooper was crazy.
Yeah, it's the year quadruple crown.
And to only get one first place vote is insane.
One.
Quadruple crown, and you only get one first place vote.
One.
They gotta be better, man. They gotta be
What?
better.
And guess what? And the crazy part, I'm not tripping. Wasn't Matthew Stafford the quarterback?
Yes.
And he still ain't get the MVP. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's something so rare, man.
Hey, shit wild. But all right, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody tuning in for another full 1 hour and 8 minute episode. Apologize about technical difficulties. We'll have all of that ironed out for next time. What you got to say to people, Joe?
Hey, man, appreciate y'all. Appreciate the support. Continue to tap in with the pod, man. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. We're going to keep the content rolling for y'all. And all my furlough folks, keep y'all heads up, man. We're gonna get through it.
Like, follow, subscribe. We out.